Hello, hi, it's your girl Mammi Dearest, and welcome to episode 1 of Echoes of Me to You. You guys are probably like, what is Echoes of Me to You? Why are we here? What is going on? So Echoes of Me to You is a series that's been in my heart for a year now. I just didn't have a name for it. And basically, I wanted something that belongs to me on my platform for me, mainly because I feel like I spent so much time growing things that belonged to me, but were not fully mine. And I think I just wanted to see what I'm capable of doing when I venture out and do something alone. Part and parcel that, but I've always been scared. And then something recently happened that kind of like took that fear away from me. And now we are here. Now we have found ourselves in this moment, in this day, today, right now. And you guys are probably wondering, what is Echoes of Me to You? So Echoes of Me to You is kind of like a visual diary. It's me kind of giving you guys the musings of my 20s and while going through my 20s. So lessons I've learned, lessons I'm learning, and lessons I'm still yet to learn from you guys. So it's a place where I share, you share, we share, and we come together. And hence why it's called Echoes of Me to You. And so let's start off on a lighter note. So on a lighter note, we do what's in my cup. So what's in my cup today is a green tea, mainly because I just needed caffeine that's not caffeine. And I really love green tea, guys. I'm weird like that. So that's what's in my cup today. And so let's get into episode 1. So with episode 1, we are going to be talking about the realities of failure. And what inspired this as the first topic was, I'm in a season where I realized that I didn't realize how much failure had affected me and had put fear in me trying something new or fear in me carrying on. So let me give you guys context. So basically, last year I was doing my honors and I failed. Yo, guys, it was the first time I'd failed in my entire life. I'd always been a level A student. I've always achieved well. I never failed, guys. And even when I passed, I didn't pass like subpar passes. I did really well for myself, especially in high school. Even in varsity, I have a few distinctions. My degree has like a few distinctions there. So when I'd failed my honors, I was like, oh, man, it's fine. I failed. I got the opportunity to come back and do it again. Let's keep it moving. Let's move forward. Not realizing the actual impact it probably had on me, and it only hit me like recently. So let me get into it. So when failure has like different stages, it's like stages of grief. I was actually having the conversation with my friends the other day, and we realized that, let me actually record here as backup. We realize that failure has like different stages, right? So we have the I failed stage where like it hits you, good see you're saying failure, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm here. This is what happened. And you may feel very sad, or you may have handled it like me, where I took it and I kept it moving. Like I literally didn't cry. I took the failure and I kept it moving, right? Or you may be very angry. You may go through a stage where you feel very angry because you're angry at yourself, you're angry at the world, or you may be angry at God and be like, God, why did you allow this to happen to me? Because sometimes your failure isn't because of your doing, it's because of external factors. And let me give you an example. So with the thought digest restructuring, it wasn't like a failure on my part. Like it was a system failure, and when it's out of your control and you feel like, oh my God, I put in so much effort, I really wanted to achieve this, like why does it seem like it's failing, and you start to blame yourself, or you blame God, or you blame external factors. So you go through an anger phase, right? And then the deepest part there's two parts of failure that really like affect a person deeply, which is the self-doubt and the fear. So what happens when you fail is that now you have fear of carrying on, fear in your carrying on, or fear to start again. So right now I'm doing my honors, as I said, and I'm reaching the end of the journey. I think I have a month left in my honors. I am so scared, guys. Every time I speak about like passing or I speak about next year, I always speak about it in with pessimism. So I'm on some, yeah, no shame, I'll have an apartment next year, and then I edit if God is willing. I add God willingly on top of that because I'm so pessimistic. I don't want to like speak great things into my future with like assurance, like with like, no, definitely I'll pass. No, definitely I'll get an apartment. Because I'm like, what if I fail again? Like at the back of my mind. And I didn't realize that me reacting in that way was because of the failure, because of consequence of failing. Like I was like, I thought like, man, I really didn't deep my pessimism, and I'm a very optimistic person. So that was the first ding dong for me that actually this failure is affecting me. It's affecting my outlook on life or my outlook on the things I'm doing, my outlook on this project, for instance. Like, yo, guys, when I tell you to get here, it was not easy. And I felt like it was God trying to pull me back and say, don't do this, don't go into this, But then luckily I have such an amazing support system. And they were like, no, Mpo, take it as most successful businesses have hiccups at the beginning. Take it as these are the hiccups at the beginning because you are building something amazing. Why does it have to be God is holding you back and not the enemy doesn't want to see you become the version of you that God wants you to become? Why isn't it the enemy that is holding you back? So now we here, you see, so those type of like things like affect you, and then it ties into the fear, then ties into another aspect of failure that has you feeling so like down bad, and it's the self-doubt. You doubt your capabilities. You doubt your abilities. Like, I can't say I will pass because I doubt my ability to do that because I have failed before. I can't say this business will succeed because I doubt my capabilities to do that because Thought Digest has not necessarily failed, but something bad has happened to it. I doubt my ability to, be. I doubt myself. I doubt the weight I carry. I doubt the strength of my mind. I doubt, like, there's so much self-doubt. And what this self-doubt does is it can be very crippling and stop you from doing what you want to do, stop you from pursuing something new, stop you from coming back and trying again. Like, guys, I was like, I remember last year, I was like, yo, if I fail, I'll never come back and do this again. Because, guys, honors is so traumatic, guys. I don't think they speak enough about how traumatic this part of life is. Like, it's so traumatic. We're literally having a conversation with my friends, and we were like, yo, guys, this is why CFOs are so cold. Maybe this is why CEOs are so cold, because they experience this journey and they go through this journey of their life where they have to be stone cold and I lack emotional availability for anyone, even themselves, that they take it and be like, oh, to succeed, this is how I must handle things. This is how I must move. That's how traumatic this thing is. So now when I'm like, I have to come back and do this again, I said, no, never. It's never going to be me. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to take my degree and go because I have my degree, but maybe it came from the self-doubt. Maybe it stemmed from the fear of like failing again. You see, so like failure does like, oh my God, guys, failure is such a crippling thing and we don't really deep what it does for us. But now that we've discussed how failure impacts us and how it makes us feel, you guys tell me down below how failure has stopped you or how failure is making you feel currently in the season of your life. Tell me, let me know and let's interact with each other. But let's go into then, how do we deal with this failure? How do we move from this failure? How do we take this failure and say, you know what, I failed before, but let me not make it define who I am and define my identity. Let it be a chapter in my story and not the entire book itself. How do I do that? Let's get into it. So this is me like literally off the brim. I feel like for me is having an amazing support system. Whether your support system is God, whether your God and your friends, God and your family, whatever it is, have a strong support system. Build a strong support system because those are the people when you are down, they will pick you up. because it's not easy to pick yourself up once you're down. It is not easy at all. If you don't have that support system, build it now. Build it in this moment. Look for community, whether it's a church, whether it's joining a book club, whether it's therapy. Build a community for yourself so that if you fall, you have people who are there to pick you up. Have a healthy community, guys. I remember when I told my mom, Mama, ngifailile. She did not say, why? How come? Where? Who? What? Like my mom literally said, it's okay, mtanam. What do we do from here? Like that was her like reaction. It's okay, mtanam. What do we do from here? And the what do we do from here didn't come from a place of you failed, come up with a plan. It's like you failed. What are your thoughts? What are your plans? Do you want to go back? You know, so have somebody who can like be that for you. For me, it was my mom in that season. Right now, when Thought Digest is in shambles, God literally surrounded me with the perfect people for this time. You know, it was like I was so ready to let it go. Kai was like, nah, we're not letting Thought Digest go. She was like, nah, this is something that we've built. This is something that we've wanted for a very long time. Let's do what is necessary to make sure it succeeds, right? So that was one aspect of the support system. The other aspect of the support system was my friends. Guys, my friends came through. They were like, girl, this is the plan. This is how we're going to move. This and that, this and that, this and that. But then in that failure, it made me realize that maybe it was so crippling and it was so heartbreaking because I'd poured into that alone and didn't pour into other things, which brings me to my second point. Always diversify your portfolio. This is me speaking like an accountant. Always diversify your portfolio. If you're a business, if you're an entrepreneur, always have multiple businesses running. Like whether they are large scale, small scale, medium scale, it does not matter. Always diversify your portfolio. Let me give it to you in the context of a influencer. Always have multiple platforms. If your TikTok ain't up, your YouTube will be up. If your YouTube ain't up, your Instagram gonna be up. If you are modeling, act as well. Like literally maximize all your talents. I mean, maximize all your talents so that if you fail in one department, it doesn't feel like a failure in your life entirely. I feel like this is why people who fail CTA or fail academically tend to go into really deep depressions and really like deep seasons of self-doubt, or even like don't choose to not carry on with life, is because they did not diversify their portfolio. Their entire effort, their entire being was on this one project. And when it failed, it completely like shattered their whole world. So always diversify your portfolio. Do multiple things, whether for income or as a hobby. Have other things that make up who you are, right? So hence why I was like, okay, in this season, I failed in this aspect, or this aspect is coming short, or this aspect is moving slow. Let me diversify. Let me add something new to my portfolio. And the distraction is really healthy, guys. I don't want to lie. I'm enjoying the distraction. It's like, yes, I'm dealing with these emotions. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. But this is something to channel my creativity, channel something new, and grow myself. So always have multiple things going. So we've got a support system. We got a diversified portfolio. And then secondly, you got to sit with yourself. You gotta sit with yourself. Whether you're watching this video and you're experiencing failure, I'd advise you to pause right here in this moment, but come back. Pause in this moment. Sit, take a deep breath in and out. And ask yourself, how do you feel? How do you feel? You know? Like, I know we want to move. We want to run. We want to like go at 100 kilometers per hour. But slow down and ask yourself, how do I feel? How has this impacted me mentally? How has this impacted me emotionally? How has this impacted how I see myself, how I see other people? Slow down, reflect, take it all in, journal it, think about it, because you don't want the failure to change the essence of who you are, to change your character. You know, remain a person with integrity, remain a person with optimism, remain a person with creativity, you know? So that's like the advice I'd give. I'll tell you to one, rely on your support system. Two, always have a diverse portfolio. Three, sit down, slow down, and reflect. Ask yourself these questions. And I feel like that's the best advice I can give you for dealing with failure. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's probably like 15, 20 minutes. That's the whole goal of this. Short 17 minutes. Ooh, okay. That was really quick. But that's the point of this. Short moments of reflections. Short moments of reflections in your day, in your week. When you have this hectic week, come here on this platform and let's unpack our 20s and reflect together. That's the whole point of this. That's what this podcast is about. I know Thought Digest is out there, and you guys are like, no, but we already get that sense of community from Thought Digest. And yes, it exists for that. But Thought Digest is more general. It's more general, you know. We bring in general aspects of ourselves on that platform. But I think this one is more for me to you. We're not digesting thoughts here. Here we digest emotions, we digest feelings, we digest seasons. Oh, that should be my new slogan. I load it down. I didn't even drink my tea. That's how much I was like talking to you guys. I actually got so passionate. I had no idea what I was gonna come here and tell you guys. I was like, oh my God, I just want this video out. But I'm honestly so in love with what we just did right now. And I hope you guys are in love with it as well. See you guys next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m.